Louis, we're so absolutely excited to have you out here. This is, I mean, from meeting in the mountains the last time to meeting over here.
Yeah.
And at least what we've tried to do is bring the Himalayas out here to the UK. Do you think we've done any bit of that?
Absolutely, yeah. I think, bringing the bike in and the setup here at the stand, really impressive actually. When I arrived yesterday morning, it was easy to spot the Royal Enfield stand. So.
Louis, this is your first time at the ABR festival. Right?
Yes.
First time at a full-fledged adventure bike riding festival. How are you liking it? What are you soaking in?
Oh yeah, I mean the atmosphere is amazing. To all these people here, like-minded people that are into adventure riding. It's just a really cool place to hang out, loads to see and do, and managed to get out on the bikes yesterday and had a ride around the off-road trail, which is great fun.
So Louis, we're really here to talk about the winter expedition that you've gone on. The video is dropping today.
Yes.
So there's a lot of excitement in the air, and we've got a lot of stuff up our sleeves, haven't we?
Oh yeah.
So Louis, really, so we put you in very uncomfortable situations in the winter Himalayas, right?
Yeah.
So you were doing that. You were going to that neck of the Himalayas for the first time.
Yes.
What was it like, and how were you getting prepared for that expedition?
Preparation-wise, I went out. I did quite a bit of trail riding in the UK, just to make sure my bike fitness was up to speed, because I do a lot of expeditions and climbing mountains, and I think my expedition fitness is good, but I wanted to make sure riding a bike in that kind of challenging terrain, it's a different kind of fitness. I really focused on all the layers of clothing to deal with the cold, so I was using some really thick merino wool base layers, as like part of my insulation, and then I had a pretty heavy duty winter suit to go on top of that. I think one of the things I didn't anticipate was the effects of the altitude, and the challenge of riding, So.
Absolutely. I mean, so back then the new Himalayan still hadn't launched. I think that was an expedition that you rode with the motorcycle before. It was a prototype, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And basically, we truly said we tested the motorcycle in the Himalayas, the highest testing grounds on earth. And not just when everything's comfortable, but when things get uncomfortable in the Himalayas, in a very cold winter Himalayas. Right?
Oh yeah, I realised really early on that there was going to be a whole range of challenges on the trip. There was a lot of rockfall, so a lot of time you'd come around a corner, bend in a road, and there'd just be rubble all over the road. So a lot of the time you were kind of sharp braking and then working your way around all this kind of rockfall that had come down. There was patches of black ice on the roads as well that you couldn't see. And then when we went off-road, then we fitted the snow chains. And we were riding through snow that's 2-3 feet deep sometimes. And everyone will see it in the footage in the videos. It was just amazing, with these snow chains on, just drifting the bike around. And when we're out riding, I realised we weren't really seeing many people at all. And Santosh was telling me that in the winter most of the people leave the region, otherwise they're stranded in there for the winter. So so we were out and we were having to camp in most places because there was nowhere open to stay accommodation wise. So it was felt really wild and remote.
We've seen some stunning visuals of you guys riding on in a frozen Indus River. Now that is unheard of. Never been done before. A frozen Pangong Lake. What was it like? Because it must have been really sketchy out there.
So we kind of went down first, just tested the ice, just to make sure it was thick enough and safe enough to take the weight of the motorcycle. We put the snow chains on to give us a bit of grip on the ice, and then slowly we just took the bike down. It was quite a little awkward kind of sandy bank to get onto the river, so we just kind of very carefully manoeuvred the bike down, got it onto the ice on the edge, and then I hopped on board. And then, rode right the way across the Indus and got to the bank on the far side.
What were your nerves like? Because that can be very unnerving, getting the motorcycle on the ice, playing with traction. What was all of that? Did you get it? Did you have enough traction?
No, hardly any of that. And the key thing was I stood up. So I was up on the pegs, just trying to keep the balance, because any kind of slight lean or anything, then it was going to slip out. And just nice and steady, second, third gear.
Right.
You know, so it was nice and smooth on the throttle. I went across, I did sort of 3 or 4 crossings, and I started to get a bit of a feel for it and just what grip I had, and then eventually I think the team were able to put the drone up, and actually I was like then doing like, you know, 40, 50 mile an hour, like long runs along the length of the river, and just like, you know, zipping down and then just a nice steady turn, you know, and then like zipping back up again, and actually we got quite comfortable in the end, you know, with the chains were good.
You rode the prototype motorcycle, right, when it was being tested, and then you've ridden the motorcycle after its launch as well. How far along has it come since then?
I think a lot of developments, like, you know, it was quite a few interesting things actually came out during that ride. Like you say, it was a prototype bike.
Yes.
And one of the things that came up was quite funny actually. I've been riding for a couple of days on the bike. And we were doing some quite big climbs, and every time we were doing some of these like quite challenging ascents, I would stand up, I'd get up on the pegs, and I'd be on the balls of my feet on the pegs, kind of leaning forward, and I'd go to, like, you know, give it some throttle to do the climb, and sometimes it was like an intermittent thing. The engine would just cut on me, and in the end, it's about the 3rd day, and it was doing it, and I suddenly worked out what it was. And where I was standing up, and I've got quite big feet, and big off-road boots on, and I was on the balls of my feet, the heel on the back of my boot was catching the side stand, and pushing it down a little bit and activating the kill switch. And that's what it was, you know. And in the end, so they literally got an angle grinder out, and they cut off the little piece there, the stub on the side, and obviously then totally fine, like, you know. And I think because of that feedback, I spoke to the engineers, they modified the side stand.
Yes, I remember getting that feedback, and that was incorporated onto the motorcycle later. Louis, coming back to it, today is quite a milestone for us, right? I think finally the collaboration with Shackleton and Royal Enfield Himalayan are happening. There's been we've been having a conversation for a very long time, and I mean, we're talking to you, one of the directors at Shackleton. Could you tell us a little bit about Shackleton? What is Shackleton?
It's been going for about 8 years, and there's like 2 halves to the business. It started out as a clothing brand, and we do all this, you know, amazing kind of, you know, cold weather down jackets and kind of base layers, all that sort of stuff, and we just opened a flagship store in Piccadilly Circus, and a couple of the bikes are going to be going in there next week, which is you know, incredible. And then the other half of the business, which is the part that I run, is the expedition side. We do these expeditions called Shackleton Challenges, and we go all around the world. We take people down to Antarctica and ski to the South Pole, or climb the highest mountain on the continent. We spend time in the Alps doing mountaineering, and we go to the desert, do desert survival skills. So a really broad range of expeditions, and it's all based around the pretty famous polar explorer, Sir Ernest Shackleton, and he was, you know, doing some incredible expeditions down in Antarctica in the early 1900s, around that era of, you know, kind of Captain Scott and Roald Amundsen, when they're all trying to, you know, get to the South Pole, and Shackleton went down and, you know, had this massively ambitious plan to try and do a full crossing of Antarctica right the way across, and went down with 2 ships. That trip didn't actually work out, and it ended up in an like epic survival mission where they lost their ship and they had to drag these lifeboats across the ice. But, you know, through like Shackleton's supreme leadership, you know, all of the men came back safely. And Shackleton's granddaughter, Alexandra Shackleton, she's actually patron of the company, so we've got, you know, that link, you know, directly to the family, and it's all about equipping people with the right gear to go and do these expeditions and take them on like genuinely life-changing experiences and adventures. And so I think for us to partner, you know, with Royal Enfield and the Himalayan, you know, which is, you know, a bike synonymous with adventure, you know, it's a natural fit. Certainly the trips I've done, you know, on the bike have been, you know, absolutely incredible adventures, and I see that as a tool to...
No, absolutely. I think what we're trying to do is trying to promote exploration, right?
Exactly.
Promote exploration, get people to embrace the adventure mindset.
Yeah.
Right? Again, exciting times. This is just the start of what is yet to come between our collaboration and what we're doing together. We do have a lot of exciting things for Shackleton customers and Himalayan customers alike somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
But yeah, today is really about celebrating a milestone, dropping the video, and let's see what comes out of it.
No, I think really exciting partnership coming up. Like you say, some of the things we've got planned that we're going to do some announcements fairly soon, and there'll be, I think, opportunities for people to come and experience what I experienced last year in the Himalayas. Probably in slightly warmer temperatures, so I don't think there's any need to go there in the winter, but really excited for this partnership that we're building between the two brands.
Likewise, Louis. And thank you so much, and we shall catch up again, perhaps in the mountains the next time around.
Absolutely.
On a Shackleton Challenge.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Louis.
Thank you.